If I had to start over right now as a photographer with no money, very few clients, what would I do? I'm going to tell you what I do because I feel like this is quite important. So buckle up, we're going to go into it. I feel like every person on social media is like, oh my God, I'm booked, I'm busy, I'm working really hard. And the reality is it's really hard out there. Every influencer is going on about how they've made loads of money and they're doing so well. I see people going on brand trips. I feel like if I was going to start again, this is what I do. I mean, like, I'm just going to do it in a 7-day thing because I feel like you can implement these and hopefully this will help you because it's what I would do if I had no money and very little clients in an area, because that's exactly how I started Khandie photography. Like, I got the studio on a whim. I had no client base here. So this is what I did, what I wish I'd also done back then, but what I know has worked because I have done it and it has worked for me. So I can't guarantee results because that would be completely unethical of me, but I can definitely say for me, these worked and they continue to work. So I think the first thing you need to do is to get out there and get your name put out there. And one of the ways you can do that is literally joining Facebook groups in your area that is covering like this area you want to be in. So if you want to reach out to mums to do family shoots, go and talk to the mums on those social groups. But don't just be like, I'm a photographer, this is my thing, my link. Like, engage them, build a conversation. If you see somebody in like, so one of the places I would look to, I'm in Northampton, maybe Northampton Notice Board on Facebook would be like, hey, I'm looking for a photographer XYZ event. I'd be like, hey, I'm a photographer who's worked with some local businesses. Let me send you my portfolio, DM you, and we can discuss. Here's also a link. Like, it's a little bit more of a human response. So people get to know who I am and I start building up that reputation. But you're not just there to sell your link, okay? And what you doing, you want to be chatting, answering questions, offer advice, talk. Make sure you're doing it with your business name profile so that you can at least get your name pushed out there a little bit more, and never lead first with the I'm a photographer, this is my link. You want people to get to know you, and the best way to do that is by engaging with them, slowly warming them up to you, okay? And don't tell me like, oh my God, I feel really weird about doing that. What are you going to do? Just sit there and just do nothing? This is marketing. This is how you get your name out there, by doing stuff. And at least if it's on the internet, you're not physically having to meet them just yet. I think another thing that people don't do is they don't Google themselves. They don't actually figure out what they look like on Google. So maybe you actually need to go in and go, hey, what do I look like to my potential customer? Am I saying who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing? Because if you're not, that's something you need to do. Go check that everything social media is you, and at least let it be currently you. Because if the last time you posted on Twitter was about your cat and your dog and a latte, and that's what comes up when they first Google you, that's a problem. We need to boost other things, okay? So let's start updating our social media. And if that headshot is out of date, there must be one you could take just now that is better, okay? And if you tell me this is too cringe and oh my God, it's so desperate, hey, I built a massive part of my business by hanging out in my postcode and getting involved in the groups that are involved in my postcode. There is a lot of business out there. I just need to get my name out there. So go do it. Okay, so it's now day 2 and we're going to up the ante because we started commenting and we started getting our name out there. But what we actually want to do is get people collaborating with us. And no, this is not unpaid work. This is collaboration with intent. This is a business. We are going to collaborate, but with the right people. I want you to find one brand, one thing that works for you, a company, maybe a hairdresser, a florist, that really sits with what you're about. And you're going to message them and offer them free social media ready images to use. You're going to go down there, shoot your little heart out, send them some images. Now, they are not going to pay for it. There's a reason. Don't get me wrong. If they offer you payment, take that money. But we are going to use this because they're going to share that images and we want to double our audience reach about who we are. Okay. So we're going to go do that shot and then make sure that the deal is that they tag us. So we're going to send the contract out. The part of it is that you must tag us. We want it shared. So when we post it, they share it. When they post it, we share it. You see, nice little sort of like grabbing their audience by not having to be part of their audience, if that makes sense. If they really like you, they might let you put one of your business cards or flyers in their shop. Makes sense. It's nice. Put it out. I sometimes do it. People always say that business cards are dated, but honestly, I leave them everywhere in all the local business I go to. And do I get work off them? Maybe. But what I do get is my name out there because people spot them and go, oh. Now, while I mentioned one business, it might be a good idea to get a few businesses in because, listen to me, you're not going to spend long, probably 20, 30 minutes on these businesses. Get ones with good engaged audiences. So if you're going to go, I always think tattooists and hairdressers have really good engaged audiences. You're going to do those shots and you're only going to give them like maybe 5 images, but you want them to share them and tag them because you want to get involved. But what it will look like is when they all start then sharing those images, you look busy, which gives the impression you are somebody in demand. Nobody to know it's unpaid. We're doing this because we need the content fresh, but we also need to get our name out there. This is a sign of a good collaboration. Now, if they did offer you money, I'd be like, go take that money, honey. But the likelihood is they're probably not going to at this stage. But you're going to limit what you give them in exchange for them tagging and sharing. Where are we up to? Day 4. Day 4, you are a billboard. Yes, you, my darling, you are a human billboard. So let's use it. Walk around with a t-shirt with your business name on if you've got one. Walk around with your camera bag. Go to cafes. Talk about what you do. I know introverts, you're going to hate this. You'll be like, Khandie, that is not for me. But I hear you, honey. I hear you. We are going to do it. We're going to have to step out because it is such a good way to show who we are, our personality, our brand. People will love it. So you're going to have to go to cafes. You're going to have to go to galleries. You're going to have to go walk around. Take your cameras out. Literally go out shooting. When people ask you, engage in conversation with them. Introverts, I know you don't like that, but if you are your own best kept secret, that might be why people are not booking you. You don't have to be crazy like chatty, but at least engage in a conversation. Okay, maybe if you've got a friend who can hype you up and ask you questions. One of my favorite skills I have, or should I say tips I have, is I take a friend, I'd sit in the cafe first, she'd come in after, sit down, and when it got a bit busy, she'd ask me what I did, and we'd have a genuine conversation because we knew each other. But other people get involved because they didn't know I was, it was a setup, essentially. And it worked. I know it's a sneaky one. Give it a go. It's actually really good, especially if your friends are, you're an introvert. You can you're just talking to your mate and it's a little bit more relaxed then. We're now on day 5. And let me tell you, you do not need fancy branding to get content, but we're going to start creating content, okay? So I don't care if it's behind the scenes, whatever. Use your phone. I'm using my phone here. I'm trying to do this quickly for you, but you could just shoot at a weird angle. I'm literally on my knees here shooting up. Create content behind the scenes, talk about a shoot, literally just talk about what it is. You need to get in front because they need to see your face. Start sharing that on your Facebook page, on your Instagram, share it in groups, particularly if you're talking about, I know, how to get better shots with your kids on your phone, or what settings are better videoing on your phone, whatever it is. And then make sure you share it in those groups that you were in earlier in the week to chat to people and share the content. There's so much content out there and you can be so good with it. I will just say you do not need fancy editing stuff. You don't even need one of these. You could literally just do this on your own and just share it scrappily as hell. Just get it done. Make connection, not perfection, because nobody connects with perfection. Honestly, just be very authentically you and tell people what they want to know. And if they don't have anything to share, talk about what you know, why you like it, why you chose your brand colors, why you started photography in the first place. But if you are going to talk, make out you're talking to one person, not a load of people. And don't, for God's sake, start, hey guys, I'm Khandie. Because 1, you're not Khandie. But 2, just get into the content. It gets people bored otherwise. And it's a really well-known fact that people will buy into you more than before they'll buy your photos. So day 6 is about getting client testimonials and getting engaged with your clients. Why? Because you should have done at least one shot. Maybe there's a review, a testimonial, or maybe someone has emailed you something nice. But don't just use this day as like, okay, here's a picture of Sarah. Sarah did a business shoot with me. Why don't you put, Sarah came to me after hating all her previous shots and really hated herself in photos. And I just said, honey, we can make magic. Magic wasn't required. Just Sarah being comfortable in her environment and trusting her photographer. And boom, baby, look what we got. You're telling a story. So tell the story. These are really good ways of connecting and building trust for you. Honestly, it's so overlooked. And I recommend people do this all the time. And you might go, I'm bragging. There's a way to say it without being braggy. You don't need to say, I'm the most amazing photographer. Everyone book me, blah, 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 blah. No, you're just going to say, I did what she wanted and I did more. It's like business bragging without being a douchebag. Because frankly, if you don't tell people how good you are, they're not going to know how good you are. So you got to tell people how good you are. Here's Johnny. So day 7 is about building momentum. This is about building what worked, what didn't work. Have a look at, did people connect with you because you spoke in a certain way? Did a video perform better than another? And which groups were you most successful in? Okay. Then you're going to go find everybody who commented, everyone who made like a share of whatever you did or engage with you, and talk to them. Because the more you talk to them, they've already had a connection with you. Make sure you reply to every comment. Make sure you say, hey, I'm running that thing. You were so interested in what I was doing last time. I just let you know I'm doing another live this week or whatever. If you do not get looking at your business analytics, so you can look at Meta Business Suite, you can see them. Go and have a quick deep dive into how to do that. You don't need to do like a massive crazy deep dive, but at least understand where to look on reach and what stuff means. Because if you are not dedicating time to your marketing, it's a problem. Marketing is not a once a week thing, like 7 days you're done. It's a continual thing. It should be one of the biggest times you spend doing it. And it's not hard. It's not hard. You can use your phone. You don't even need, like I said, one of these. You could prop your tripod up somewhere. You could film behind the scenes. One of my favorite ways to film behind the scenes is put my phone somewhere, record the whole thing, and then speed it all up so I don't get those embarrassing awkward poses in the middle. And it looks like I'm super busy. And then do a voiceover. It's really easy. There are many apps to help you do voiceovers. There's CapCut. You can do it in Adobe Express, I believe. You can use Adobe Suite. There's lots of free softwares to do. So you don't even have to spend any money. You can even use a free Canva account to help you out as well. So all I'm saying is, if I had 7 days, no money, and very little clients, this is exactly what I would do to boost my business. If you like a lot of this hard-hitting blunt advice, this is a great time for you to actually subscribe to my YouTube channel. But also, if you're into podcasts, I talk a lot about this stuff on my podcast, The Loud Lens. You can find it on Amazon, Apple, Spotify. Go check it out. And also, I also put them auto-fed onto here on this playlist, so you can go check them out yourself. I think it's really important that we stop gatekeeping and start sharing this information. And I love these kind of challenges that actually a listener sent to me and said, what would you do if you were in this situation, Khandie? So this is why this video and the podcast that's even more in depth was done. But just so you know, I totally see you. I've been where you've been, and hopefully just like me, you'll come out of it on the other side. But to my photographers who feel like this doesn't relate to you and you've got to the end of this point in the video, it might one day. You might find one day that all the bookings have dried up and you're not sure what to do. Marketing is something that so many photographers overlook and they become complacent. So I'm always saying to people, promise me that you'll keep trying to do marketing. Lots of people outsource it, but they outsource it thinking it's a very complex, difficult thing to do. And it really doesn't have to be. You can do it so easily yourself. Time is obviously precious, but if you can doom scroll, looking at Pinterest, TikTok, all of that, you could spend 5 seconds recording a short clip if you're drinking a coffee. You can spend, just make up a little bank throughout your day of 10, 15-second clips, and you can just put a voiceover and boom, you have some marketing. Some of the best stuff I've seen is when it's not even related to photography, they're just the voiceovers related to photography. Anyway, I hope this helps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.